Hello, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. Oh, hey, Linkus. He says, already packing my bags.
So long.
That's right. That's right. We are ready.
Dog's ready, boy. It's been so long.
Jump back into the season. First, let me apologize for being late on this live. We wanted to do this last week, but we were not able to. We actually both have had the flu, and we're still kind of getting over things. So please accept our apologies on that on regard of that. So, but I did want to just jump in here tonight. We went ahead and published the Lil Dirty Kids rules on the King of the Deep website last week. So those are there for anybody that wants to review over those. And we're going to just touch on a couple of those things tonight and just kind of go over the schedule for the Lil Dirty Kids because it is slightly different than King of the Deep. And just a couple of things that we're going to do differently this year and give you a little bit of information about our first couple of events. We have a very, very, very packed month next month. So we're going to go over all that real here in just a moment. All right. So let's just jump out real quick with the kids rules. I'm going to share this screen. This is on our website. If you go to kingofthedeep.com, there's a tab for Little Dirty Kids. And this is all the information about the kids. So basically, if you're familiar with us or if you've raced with us last season, most everything for the kids is the same. The classes are all the same. The age limits are the same. The machines, sizes, and limits and tire specifications, all of that is the same as what it was last year. The only thing that we really changed in here, or I guess didn't even really change, but I guess clarified, is in section 2 for class equipment regulations for all classes. And I don't remember exactly, but look at 2.6, no frame stretch, no modifications of any kind are allowed to the frame. We wanted to be a little bit more specific with this because there are some families that were kind of inquiring what all they could do and what would still be acceptable. So as with any kind of racing, people kind of race in the gray area and they start, if it's not in the rules, they want to sort of see what they can do. But we want to be real clear that this kids series these are for kids that are beginning. These are for people that would not necessarily identify as quote unquote racers. These are for kids that haven't maybe done it before or interested in doing it, but don't think that they can compete with the kids that have been doing this for years and years. So these holes are designed to be easier, less challenging, obviously, than what you would see in like the King of the Deep. And so we want this class to stay true to its original intent, which is to really be for the more beginner and novice rider. So no frame stretch, no modifications of any kind to the frame. And then 2.7 was something that we did add in there. Rear differential must be a direct replacement in the same location as the OEM differential. I believe that Specialized ATV has a replacement diff. So that would be suffice. It would be a billet diff. So that would work, but it has to be a direct replacement. It has to be in the same location as the OEM diff. The factory motor only, no motor work, and everything else is pretty much the same. I did add 2.11 in here because we were having an issue. We did have most of the holes are set up so that the kids should be able to finish it. But occasionally, Mother Nature doesn't cooperate. We had one hole last year where a lot of kids got stuck. We need the kids to be able to be equipped with their own recovery strap. Not necessarily the little machines. You can pull those out by hand, but anything from the single cylinder and up. And also, and this is very important, the guardian of the child must be prepared to assist with recovery. The reason for that is really just liability stuff. I don't want our staff or any media people or anybody who happens to be out there, even if it's like another person that's not related to, your kid, strapping up the machine or helping get that out. Because if anything happens during that recovery process, I don't want that to be on anyone but you as the child's parent. So that is the child's guardian's responsibility to take care of that. So I did add that rule in. The rest of everything else for the kids is pretty much the same as it has been in the past. You can read over all of this. We're still going to allow 2 runs. Everything is still the same. They still get 3 minutes to complete everything. No passengers. all of that is still the same for the kids as what we've done before. So if you have any questions about that, check out kingofthedeep.com and click on the Lil Dirty Kids. And then here's the schedule for the Lil Dirty Kids. So if you look at this and you compare this, Miles said, where is it at? So these are for all of our Lil Dirty Kids events. Now we have events all over the place. We've got, I think, 13 on our schedule this year. 6 of these already are set up to be series events with more to come as far as King of the Deep. Now for Lil Dirty Kids, this closely matches the King of the Deep schedule. If you look at it and you compare the two side by side, it's all of the series events for King of the Deep with the exception of Mud Bash at Busco Beach. That event is just so large in attendance, and it is just so busy that we just don't feel like that it would be safe or in the best interest of the kids to do a kids event there. Hey, Candace, hope you're doing good. So, excuse me, I'm so sorry. So same thing for the little kids as for King of the Deep, with the exception of Mud Bash at Busco Beach. We're still going to announce possible more events in the championship for both of those. So stay tuned for that. But this definitely takes care of the spring part of the series. Anything else that we add on will be like towards the latter half of the year. So we're really excited about that. We are pumped up. We're going to be kicking everything off for the kids and for King of the Deep at Boggs and Boulders here in just about a month. And so it's like crunch time. We're getting everything done right now, trying to kind of roll everything out. We've got new classes that we've added on to King of the Deep series as well. So that is going to be our, we've got 3 Honda classes brought to you by Vessel Power Sports. And then we've got a women's only naturally aspirated class brought to you by Baxley Off-Road. And so if you guys are interested, if there's anyone interested in supporting the women or getting behind that cause, let me know, because that is something that we're still kind of working on. I will say that our payouts for the events they're starting at 13,000 and it's kind of going from there. So that's where we're at. That's the guaranteed payout right now is 13,000 for each event plus more. And we are going to release that payout breakdown here for you guys soon, within maybe by the end of this week, or if not this week, next week, as far as what the registration fees are, what all of the payouts for each class are. The kids are still going to be $20 per run for the kids class, and they can have up to 2 runs in one class. Let's see what else I can tell you guys about. A couple of procedural things. Let me give you this. Let me go back to the website and show you this. So if you go back to kingofthedeep.com, the driver profile is open for the Little Dirty Kids and for King of the Deep. So if you could click on the menu and you're interested in the kids, just click on Little Dirty Kids, and then it'll have the calendar there. And then you'll be able to click here to complete a profile. And then you can also read through the rules here. If you click to complete a profile, it will take you to the profile form here. And then that's just really neat for the kids. It lets them kind of, it sort of almost makes like a baseball card type thing profile that we pop up, and it has their name and their age and, where they're from and what their machine is called. And it's just really neat. It's just a fun little thing for them. Same thing for King of the Deep. We'll do a driver profile and put those up as well to sort of highlight you. But the really cool thing that I wanted to show you guys for Little Dirty Kids and for King of the Deep is if you click on the Bounty series and you scroll down, you can click on Racer Pre-Check Process. And when you go to that tab, it'll sort of give you the steps here. So we're rolling out this new thing this year called the Racer Pre-Check. And it's sort of like really came to mind from like going to the airport and flying and getting to bypass the line with the TSA pre-check. So if you do the Racer pre-check process, then that will make you eligible to do pre-registration. We have never done pre-registration in the past because just logistics of excuse me, making sure people have their waivers done ahead of time, all of that sort of deal. But we are changing that this year. It's not going to be required to pre-register, but it'll be an option. So you'll be able to go to the website, click on Racer Pre-Check, and then you'll go down these items. So just make sure you've reviewed all the classes and the rules, and kind of that what you're registering for is what you have machines for.
So you don't have to register the morning of, and it helps them not have to come in early.
Yep.
They have to be there for the driver's meeting. We've kind of changed that a little bit too.
Yep. So I'll talk about all of that. So you can review the classes and rules, make sure you know what you're registering for. You can do your driver profile, and then that Step 3 is complete the waiver. You'll click on that and you'll complete your waiver. Once you do that waiver, that covers you for the whole year for King of the Deep. So you don't have to do that every time you come to the event for us again, like we usually do. And then step 4 would be pre-register for the races. If you click on step 4 today, it's not going to take anywhere because we have to do each race individually. But once you do your other items and you get your waiver on file with us, then you'll be eligible to pre-register. And then what that'll mean is that prior to the event and leading up till, I don't know what the cutoff it'll be. It'll kind of depend on my schedule and internet availability at the race, I think. But up until the race, at some point a day or so before, will allow you to pre-register. And then you'll be able to click in what classes you want to register for and how many runs and for that particular race. And then you'll be able to pay for your registration ahead of time. And so the idea of that is that then on Saturday morning, you don't have to come down to the bounty hole at 9 o'clock in the morning and, sign up and stand in line to pay me and worry about having the cash and sign in your waiver and all that stuff. Cause I know sometimes you guys are traveling to get there, or you've been traveling all night and you're trying to sleep in, or you're working on your machines, trying to get those ready to go. So this is just a way to sort of alleviate a little bit of that burden and stress of you guys being there for the registration the morning of. And for us, it'll help us to expedite that line because we've had quite a line the last few races. We've had almost 200 runs at the finale last year. And so whatever we can do to simplify that process and make it easier for you guys and for us, that's what we're going to do this year. What that will mean is that you don't have to come down for registration. Another thing that we changed this year, and we went over this in our live video a couple of weeks ago, but our King of the Deep drivers, you are allowed to have a driver representative at the drivers meeting for you this year. So now if you read through the rules, they have to basically be able to relay any pertinent information to you. They've got to be able to, if we were to do something that were to require a vote in the drivers meeting, they need to be able to vote on your behalf, but they cannot challenge a majority vote because they're not you. There's just some details in there about that, but that will, I think, really, especially those of you who have last minute repairs and things that you're trying to get right on your machines, will help alleviate a lot of that burden. So that is what we've got going on this year. This basically, if you do the pre-check and you send a driver representative to the meeting for you, you don't have to be there until the race starts. So that is going to give you guys a lot of your time back Saturday morning, and I think make things go a lot more smoothly. A couple of other things that we're going to do that are different this year is the Lil Dirty Kids are going to go in the morning separate than the King of the Deep. We talked about that on the video a couple of weeks ago as well. Depending on where the location is, the timing is probably going to be 9 or 10 for the kids. Go ahead and get them raced, get them their awards, get them out of there. It's a long day for everyone. So that way you guys don't have to hang around if you're not racing. It's just your kids. And then we'll start the King of the Deep separately. And those will planning to start at 12 o'clock noon for those races. We have a new system that we're going to give you guys more information about. But I can go ahead and tell you, for the different holes, what we're going to do is have a counter on a table in front of that hole that counts up from 1 to whatever. So we may have, as you guys know, for example, the small tire hole, we run the small tire naturally aspirated through that first, and then we run the small tire open through that. That's how we've done that in the past. So let's say that we had 20 racers in the first run and 15 of them bought second runs. That would be 35 runs just in the naturally aspirated class. And then let's say that we had another 15 racers in the open class, that would be another 15 runs through that hole. So what we're going to do is when we randomize the run orders for these drivers, everyone will be able to see what your number is, and that'll be printed out. That'll be posted on the side of the trailer and on the table at the pit officials table. And then you'll be able to basically look at your number. So if you know that your first run is number 7, your second run for that hole is number 22, then you're just looking for 7 and 22 to come up on that counter. And so basically everybody that runs through that hole will increase the counter, kind of like at the DMV, now serving, customer number 1, now serving customer number 2. And then those will count up to help you kind of keep a better count on where we're at for any given hole.
Yeah, sometimes people, they hear a name, they don't know that person might be 6 racers in front of them and they're confused. Now you're going to know,
right?
I'm hearing number 20 and I'm number 25.
That's right.
There's no mistake.
That's right. Because what we were doing is that, especially when we have the same drivers racing in multiple holes. And now that we're running multiple holes, essentially at the same time, you don't know if, let's just say Dane, you don't know if Dane is racing in this, the medium or the unlimited. So when you hear his name, you might know that he's a couple of people ahead of you, but you don't necessarily know which hole that was in. And it just gets really confusing. So this way you'll be able to know what your numbers are. You'll be able to watch the counter on that hole, and you'll be able to keep up with when your run is coming up.
We'll be able to focus on announcing the racers
Yeah.
instead of a run order all the time.
Right. We kind of, because we've had so many runs and run multiple holes at the same time, the last couple of races, we've spent so much time on the microphone. Steve has just calling who's coming up next, rather than really giving his sort of famous introductions to the racers as we like to do. So we're trying to kind of get back to that and make something a little bit easier for you guys, for the racers to know and keep track of, where your runs are. If you know you're number 7 and 20 on hole 1, and you're number 13 on hole 2, and you're number 24 on hole 3, then you'll be able to watch those counters and keep up with where you're at a little bit better. That's the whole idea behind this, the premise. That's Steve's vision right here. So we're going to get that in. Larry, yeah, we do need to have a 50 and older class. If we could get AARP to sponsor it, that would be great. And I did see your message. Thank you so much. I'm going to put you down for another year with the kids. I appreciate it. There's another couple of people that were really regular donators for the kids last year. So we've got some guaranteed money from Super ATV that's going towards the kids this year. And then we've got some sponsors that were so great and gracious last year to donate regularly. And I think, like Larry, I think there's a couple more that are going to be on board to do that again this year. So we're going to, I feel a lot better that we're going to know that we're going to have like kind of a guaranteed payout this year. And then anything on top of that will just be extra and would just be icing on the cake. So, those are just kind of some updates as far as like procedural things as to how we're going to do things a little bit differently. I will, let me show you guys a couple of things. I did want to talk about what we are doing in the first couple of events. So as I said, March is going to be a very busy event. We are kicking it off with a season opener at Boggs and Boulders, which is March 6th through 9th. That is in Brooklyn, Alabama. We're so excited about that park. Like, they haven't had a bounty hole. Now, they've done the bounty course kind of here and there, but they haven't had a bounty hole in a few years. And so we are like stoked that they're letting us bring that there. And we're really, really, really looking forward to that. So I'm going to talk more about that in just 1 minute. Then the next weekend, we're turning around and we're going to Top Trails in Talladega, Alabama for the Ride for Autism Awareness event. And that's going to be fun too. We're doing some stuff for the kids there too. So hang tight on that. It's not part of the series, but I'm going to tell you about that too. And then the next one in March is going to be at the Graveyard, which is in Jasper, Florida. And that's the Bounty Challenge course. So these are like 3 events that we've got in March that are going to be so much fun. They're all a little bit different, and I'm going to tell you about them right now. So the first one up is going to be the opener at Boggs and Boulders. That's going to be the $13,000 plus payout. It's a series event. It's the opening event for King of the Deep and for Lil Dirty Kids. And so you can't really see on here, but we're going to do a group ride on Thursday night. On Friday night, we're going to have a Friday afternoon, we're going to do barrel racing and knockout racing. So that's really fun. If you came to our finale last year at Grand River, then you got to see kind of what that knockout racing was. But essentially that is 2 identical courses, 2 side-by-sides, 1 on each course going at the same time. So sort of think of it like a drag racing almost, because you're racing each other as far as like who can beat each other, but it is not a straight stretch. It is a course. So it's got some turns, some bumps, some dips, some whoops, stuff like that. So that's really fun because you get to watch 2 people go. It's heads up, and then you just get to see whoever finishes advances and whoever doesn't gets knocked out. And then we've got the barrel racing as well. Then Friday night, we're going to take it to the pavilion for Boogie Bingo, and we'll have some prizes and stuff to give away that night. So that's something for like anybody to participate in. So if you're a wife of a racer, if you're just a spectator, it's free to do. You get to go. It's like bring your own, BYOB, bring your cooler, bring your stuff, hang out with everybody, and just we listen to music. If you know the song, you mark it on your sheet. You can use the little Shazam app, and then whoever gets 5 in a row first gets prizes. Whoever gets 4 corners gets prizes. And then we also give out all kinds of stuff throughout too. So we do other kinds of little fun stuff throughout, but it's just a good time hanging out with everybody. And then Saturday morning, we've got the Little Dirty Kids Bounty Hole kickoff. And then we've got the King of the Deep Bounty Hole kickoff. And then Saturday night, we've got a bonfire that we're doing with everybody there. And then also there's going to be a scavenger hunt throughout the weekend with just different prizes and stuff too. So that's what we've got for Boggs and Boulders for the opening weekend spring jam at Boggs. And we're very excited about that, like I said. And then the next weekend, I'm so sorry about my voice, you guys. The next weekend, we're going to be at Top Trails for the Autism Awareness Ride. That's Ride for Autism. We got the 6ix9ine boys coming for concert. That's like 90s. It's 90s rap, but it's like family friendly. Like they don't curse in any of their songs or anything like that. So it's a great, really fun artist for the kids and stuff because it's family friendly, but it's still like have a good time. They did that song Tootsie Roll. I know everybody, well, maybe not the young people, but the old people like me will remember Cotton Candy, Sweet and Low. Let me see that Tootsie Roll, right? So we're excited about that. That's going to be fun. Friday night is going to be a poker run, and then we're going to do the Boogie Bingo there as well. And then on Saturday, we're going to have a kids bounty hole on Saturday for $2,000 payouts. I'll tell you more about that in 1 second. It's not Lil Dirty Kids. It's just a kids bounty hole. It's just the Autism Top Trails kids bounty hole. So there's no points. It's not a series event, but it is a bounty hole for kids. And then we're going to have a hill climb contest there as well at 3:00. And then that's going to be $8,000 given away for the hill climb competition. So we did one of those on New Year's. It was so much fun. And we're going to do that again on that weekend there in Talladega. And then the concert is Saturday night. So the kids, because that's what we're talking about tonight, kids bounty hole, it's going to be the same classes as the Little Dirty Kids and the same requirements as far as all the machines, but it is not a series event. The Autism Awareness Ride is not a series event. We didn't make it a series event because it's in the middle of 2 series events, and that's just too much for y'all to do back to back to back. So this is not a series event. It is still the same rules as far as the machines. We did bump the age up a little bit to 15, just to let a little bit more kids participate, just in case there's some there, because there's no other bounty hole race that day. Typically, when we do the Little Dirty Kids, we also have the King of the Deep. And usually the kids that are over 13 are like racing with King of the Deep. Like there's several with us that already race that are teenagers. But this one race, just for the one at the Top Trails Autism Ride, we're going to let the single cylinder, the V-twin, and the side-by-side go up to age 15. The mini mutters will still be 8 and under. So if you have any questions about that, reach out and let us know. It's going to be a $2,000 payout for that day for the kids bounty hole at the Autism Awareness Ride. And then the hill climb rules are here. I'll post those in the Top Trails event page, and we'll get those out for you guys as well. I can even make a website or a site on a page on the website and put those on there as well. But basically, there's a stock UTV class, a turbo UTV class, a pro UTV class, and a bouncer class for that. So we'll get more information out on that for you guys. But it's basically copy and paste of what we did New Year's Eve there. It was really fun. And so we're just going to do that again for the Autism Ride at Top Trails. And then we're turning it back the very next weekend, and we're headed down to Jasper, Florida for series event number 2. This is the Bounty Challenge course. So that weekend is going to be super fun. It's a Thursday through Sunday event. Thursday night, I think we've got a group ride on Thursday night. Friday afternoon, we're going to do the blindfold fiasco, and we'll do some barrel racing. And then on Saturday, we'll do the Little Dirty Kids and the King of the Deep Bounty Challenge. And then Saturday night, we're going to have DJ and a foam party. So that's what we've got for the graveyard. If you haven't been to the graveyard, we'll talk more about this, and I'll get some more photos and some videos for you guys as we get a little bit closer to that event. But for the graveyard, it is not your traditional bounty hole. So if you've been there before, you know it is actually a bounty challenge course. So it's kind of like partial obstacle short course style and partial bounty hole. It is think about 2,000 foot long course. and it starts, and then you go into water and you come out, and you go into water again and you come out, and then it's dry for a good long segment, but you go over some tires, you go around some trees, you go over some hills into some dips. And then there is kind of a curved bogging bounty hole area that's kind of deep. And then you'll come out of that, and then basically you rejoin where the starting part of the race was, and you backtrack and you go back over back around the tree, back over the tires, back into the water, over the hump, into the water and out. So it's a little bit different. It's very, very fun. And a lot of the racers who race with us, when you ask them at the end of the year what their favorite event was or their favorite one, they say the graveyard. I will tell you that's a very long day, because the way that the course is set up, we can only run one racer at a time. So it is a lengthy day, but it is so much fun. And it's just definitely interesting and different to watch, and it's different to race. So that's kind of the rundown for the first 3 events that we've got coming up here in March. It's a super busy month. We've got a lot going on, and we're really excited to bring it all to you guys. We had a couple of comments. Let's see. Christopher wants to know, is 336 Mud Mafia coming? Have you talked to Joe? Is he racing, Steve? I know, he had a situation. He had a little accident, and he's been recovering from that. Is he going to be racing?
I can't speak for Joe, but I did talk to him the other day, and he's hoping to get cleared.
Yeah. So they definitely got some machines that are ready for it. And so I will say that there definitely will be at some of our events this year. I know for sure. I don't know what his timeline looks like as far as that, but I know that I think they've even said it on a video that they're ready, or on one of their TikToks, that they're ready to get back live in. Yeah. Braxton said, hey Braxton, hope you're doing good. Check out those rules that we put up for the Lil Dirty Kids on the website. But yeah, so we're really, really excited. You guys are really looking forward to it. I don't know when you jumped on, Braxton, but I'll put this up here. If you look through the website, we've done a few different things. We've got this racer pre-check program now. You can go in and sign your waiver for the whole year. And then once you do that, you kind of get pre-checked, or kind of like TSA pre-check. Once you're pre-checked, then I'll let you get pre-register for races and stuff like that. So that'll help eliminate a lot of that line, and just the complications of Saturday morning with everything going on and it being so hectic. That way, you guys, the racers, don't have to come down there first thing in the morning and sign up. I know you're coming down there to look at the holes anyway, but this way you don't have to stand in the line. You don't have to worry about bringing the right amount of money. And you don't even have to be at the driver's meeting unless you want to be. You can send a driver representative to stand in for you, and one driver representative can stand in for multiple people. That's fine. All of the runs are going to be randomized as they were last year. Last year I randomized them through the internet, but this year,
just make sure they understand somebody has to be present when your name is called to speak up for
you. Yeah. So basically we do the driver's meeting, and we're going through, and we say, hey, where's Braxton? If it's not Braxton, then Billy has to say, I'm here for Braxton. And Billy can say, I'm here for Braxton, I'm here for Grayson, I'm here for Ethan. That's fine.
But they still only get one vote.
But that's right. So Christopher says, at Boggs, are you using the old bounty hole? No. Brand new holes, Christopher. Brand new holes. What do you drive, Christopher? What kind of machine do you drive?
All the holes are going to be up front near what they call the mud flat area, is what I've been told. Yeah. So Cade found us a really good spot near the mud flats, near the front. Old boat pond.
That way you guys don't have to go all the way so far back. You'll be closer. If you need to go to the bathroom, if you need to get some food, whatever. If your lady wants you to take her to the restroom, you can go real quick and come back. Everything's a lot more convenient that way. So, yeah, I know, Ron, I saw you with the little eyeballs. So the racer pre-check thing is basically, you can't pre-register for the racers just yet, even though there's a button that says that, because I have to set each race up individually. But I will get you guys, go ahead and do your waiver, go ahead and do everything else for that. And then I will get you guys set up on that here soon. So, and let's see, any other information you guys have, any other questions you guys have? We're going to be releasing the registration fees will be the same as they were for the second half of the series last year. I'm going to get you guys the payout breakdowns here. Maybe by the end of this week, I'll get that put out. we've been working on all those things right here. So I'll get all the award prize payouts broken down for you. If you guys know anybody that is interested, or you feel like just running a Honda for fun, we've got some Honda classes opening up. They are 100% fueled by the Vessel Power Sports, Sydney Mathis and everybody over there at Vessel. They are throwing in a lot of money for the Honda classes. So we're really excited about that. And there's going to be, I'll tell you, I don't know what to expect for that. I don't know how many, Honda people are going to show up and show out, but I'm looking forward to that. So it could be great. It could be we have a lot of Hondas, or it could be that we have not that many, and it would be in your interest to bring a Honda because you won't have as many competition. I don't know. We're going to see. Do we have to do waivers first for the kids too? Yes, all the kids have to have a waiver. Let me show you guys what it looks like when you click on complete waiver. Oh, it took it to a new screen. Hang on. Hold on one second. Let me share a different screen. So it will, let me share screen. Here we go. So you'll go to it'll click to this smart waiver, and then you'll scroll down and it has all this stuff, basically everything else that was already in the waiver that you previously signed. So if you've got kids, you'll click minors, and like, let's say you have 2 kids. So you'll need to do your adult, and then you'll need to do your minors. So first, minor's name and date of birth. Second, your parent's name and email. And then the parent basically goes again here. And then you just click here and you agree to the document, and that's it. It's easy peasy. So you'll want to do one for the adult, and then you'll want to do one for any minors. So if you've got, family of 4, husband, wife, and kids, and you'll do this 4 times. You'll go husband, wife, adult, and then 2 minors for kids. And we will let you guys do pre-registration for the kids as well. That's fine. I'm good with that. Is there only one class for kids side by side? Yes, it is only one class for the kids side by side. And that's funny enough, like that's the class last year that we didn't even have anybody to race in at the first couple of events, because if you read the rules for the kids, not a lot of people, I guess, have side by sides that are on the smaller tires like that. Our daughter has a little side by side, and some people do, but so I think that was sort of where the issue maybe have been. But now that people sort of started realizing what they could race there, we ended up getting some interest in having several people race that for the second half of the series last year. But there is only one class. We don't really have a way to break that up because it's only going to be naturally aspirated. There's not going to be any turbos allowed. So there's no way we allow up to 32-inch tires on the side-by-side, but there's no really further way to break that down. Let's see. Yep. Ron, I'll get the entries payouts. Entries will be the same as they were last year. I'm only trying to, as far as the regular classes for King of the Deep, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do for the Honda entry. And exactly how I want to break that down. But I'll get that out hopefully by the end of this week. So you guys already have your cabin booked. I think the cabins are all sold out. And then also, I think I called the other week, maybe last week, and I think they still had some 30-inch spots, but not many. But they might be gone by now. I'm not sure. Busco Beach is excited for 2025. Yes, we're excited too. Hey, you guys. So Busco has their Mud Bash in right after. So I talked about the March events, and actually March 31st, I think, starts Mud Bash week at Busco. So I believe it's April 5th is the Saturday of Mud Bash, and we'll be there for event number 3. So that one won't be a kids event, but it'll be the King of the Deep series event. And it is going to be epic because everybody like last year was just beside themselves asking for a bounty hole at Mud Bash. So we asked them, you guys wanted it. And we went to the park and we said, you guys, everybody wants the bounty hole at Mud Bash. And Busco was so great. And they said, well, let's do it then. So we're excited and thankful that they're going to have us back. Yes, Honda is a separated payout. The Honda class payouts are completely funded by Vessel Power Sports. So that's not taking anything away from the King of the Deep racers. So even though we added those classes, that didn't cut into the money that we were putting in for King of the Deep. So I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do for their registration fee. And then once I have that figured out, then we'll put all that out there for that Ron. Yes, the kids bounty hole is going to be earlier and separate than the King of the Deep. It was really fun. I feel like, to have them do it in front of everybody, but honestly, like, we need to do it earlier and wrap that up and go ahead and give them their awards before we do King of the Deep, because it's just such a long day. And some of those kids that are racing are 4 years old. I mean, they still need a nap, so it's just really, as a mom myself, I just think it's too much to ask them to be out there all day like that, or to, and we don't really know like exactly what time we're going to be done. So it's hard to tell them come back at this time. And so like Steve said, to divide it up a little bit more and make it make sense, we're just going to go ahead and do the kids. Probably it's going to be at either 9 or 10 a.m. It might vary slightly depending on where we're at. Like, for example, I think at Boggs we'll probably do it at 10, but at the graveyard we'll probably do it at 9 because that is a longer course and I think it's going to be a longer day. So we might bump that up a little bit earlier, but just stay tuned for the schedules each week, or, each at each event. Yeah. So any other questions, you guys, we can get those taken care of. Otherwise, just feel free to message us. Big shout out to all of our sponsors for 2025. We've started releasing those. I'm waiting on a couple of little, Johnny Hancock signatures to come back. But we've got some awesome people on board this year. Specialized ATV, Super ATV, of course, our title sponsor, Specialized ATV, Vessel Power Sports, MSA Wheels has come back again. I actually was going to announce them today, but they sent us something that arrived today, and I wanted to get pictures and announce it, but it just came a little bit later in the day for me to get that up. But they sent us something really, really cool, and I'm really excited to show you guys that tomorrow. So something new, right, Steve, from MSA. We're going to show you guys what that is tomorrow. So they're on board with us again this year for the 5th year. Just awesome support from them.
Back.
I mean, we had literally almost everybody come back. And picked up somebody new too. We picked up Turner Cycles this year. So thank you to Turner. They're awesome. Best. I mean, really, they've got so many different parts. I had no idea how much stuff that they had till I really started looking through, but they've got some awesome stuff on their site. They are actually offering a 10% discount for anybody that needs anything from them with the code KOTD10. Same thing with Gator Waders. They're offering the 10% discount this year, KOTD10 for Gator Waders.
Now offers lubricants.
And then also Turner Cycles is doing a racer program. So if you're interested in that, you can reach out to them and ask about the King of the Deep racer program. And that gives you, I think that gives you something a little bit different. I don't know the details of it exactly, but they're offering a program for all of our racers over at Turner Cycles. And then we've got, of course, everybody else that's with us too. I mean, we've got Off-Road Outlaws, Jeremy and Lori over there at Oro5. They're amazing. Rob and Jen, Dirty Stripper Chemicals, Aftermarket Assassins again. We've got Gator Waders, I said, Carolina Custom ATV, Bruce Klein, he's fantastic. We've got VP Race Fuels, Monster Rigging Off-Road. We lost our little lubricant sponsor, but it's okay because Super ATV they're rolling out all their oil change kits and all of their lubricants as well. So we're excited about that. I'm sure that we'll be going through our fair share of that now. But yeah, and then excuse me, you guys, Used Power Sports LLC of Reidsville, North Carolina, David Scott over there. And then we've got a couple more too. So we'll see. I'm dropping those as fast as I can. And yeah. Oh, Braxton said, do you already have the design for, yes. It's funny you ask.
On what?
For Boggs. Funny you ask.
Don't show them. That's just a blueprint.
Hey.
Yeah, we got them, but
this is the rough draft. They're not going to be able to see, they're not going to be able to pause this little tiny little thing and then be able to, how about I throw this one up there and see what, this is really going to confuse them. I've got pages, Braxton, pages.
But barrel racing, knockout racing, there's so much stuff going on at Boggs that weekend.
Mike says, I can help with lube. I mean,
we got it.
Yes, Mike.
Super ATV now is offering lubricants and all of your oil change filter kits for Can-Am, Polaris, and CF Moto. I believe they also have
Can-Am, Polaris, and CF Moto from Super ATV. Mike is awesome. He's a good guy here. He's probably like, what, 30 minutes from us, and does like a lot of our repairs and stuff. Yeah.
He's in Wilson.
Oh, okay. Maybe further than I realized. So I don't know. What do I know?
It's closer to most people because Wilson is really close to most people.
Yeah, easily to get to off of 95.
Bruce Klein
over there. If you're out more towards, Bruce is out like more towards like Harnett County area, I think, or so, maybe out that way, Wake County, Harnett County. We have a shop in Wilson we're working with, a shop in Rollsville that we're working with, and a shop in Fayetteville that we're working with that we all know are very reputable, great people to do Lexington.
With.
We got Orifab in Lexington. Bruce, I think he's in Anger, I think is where it is.
Not Rollsville.
And then we've got Mike over there near Wilson. Mike says he's got all of that stuff available. So if you need any sort of synthetics, lubricants, anything like that, Mike's your guy. He can help with the lube. So, all right. That's all I have for you guys tonight. Thanks for bearing with me, my voice. As Jacob Ray said.
I didn't get it last week. It was still rough.
Yeah. We were sorry to bring that to you late. If you guys have any more questions, then shoot them to us and we'll get back to you just as soon as we can. We will try to do a weekly live from here on out. That way we can, because we're getting close. It's like getting to go time, you guys. So there's going to be more information coming out every single week. For the Boggs event, for the first event, like I said, I think that they might have some 30 amps available still. If you need a hookup, call them and see. And they have plenty of like dry camping. So just like kind of like Busco, when they sell out of their stuff, but then they'll have plenty endless dry camping available. So the pricing for the Boggs event is going to be we had put that up and something had gotten copied and pasted incorrectly. So all that pricing is corrected on the event and then also on like the video that we put out. But just so you guys know, the pricing for that is going to be Thursday through Sunday. For adults, it's $60 for all 4 days. And then for kids, 6 to 12, it's $20. I think that's right. Yeah, 60 and 20. And then if you want to then they have a Saturday only pass. And I believe that is 25 for adults and 10 for kids for Saturday only. And then they have a machine fee, but it's just one fee for the whole weekend. So, and I think that's $30. And if it's like for the kids machines, if it's under 200 cc's, then there's no charge for the machine. I think that's how they do it. But all that's in the event post as well. Yeah, that's what we got for you guys. Anything else you want to add, Steve?
No, I hope everybody's getting ready. We've got so much stuff to do in a short time. So
yep. It's time to roll out. We're definitely getting pumped, you guys. So this flu has held us down for a few days, but
to join as a sponsor either.
Yeah. And we are literally have just a few more days before we're sending some stuff off. But if you guys know of anybody, or if you want to jump in and sponsor something, whether it's King of the Deep or somebody who may be interested, then send them our way. The ladies class, we definitely we're looking for more sponsors for the ladies only class. And also often, always looking for more sponsors for the kids as well. So I would say at this point, any extra money that we get is only going to improve the event. We're really excited about that, and we're ready to roll all this out for you guys. It feels like we were just here, but we're ready to start this 2025 off with a bang. So we're excited, Christopher. I'm looking forward to it. What class are you going to be racing in? And Andrew Robert says getting ready for it. See y'all at Boggs.
Nice. We're excited, Andrew.
Chris Garfo, Mia's Bounty Hole Racing. Yeah, I've been seeing her stuff. Yeah.
Excited about that.
Well, we'll catch you guys next week. I don't know what day next. I'll look at it. It's usually typically a Tuesday or a Wednesday that we go live. And we'll see you guys back here next week. And if you think of any questions, let us know. And otherwise, we'll be back next week. Thank y'all.